Hey everybody, good morning from Terminal 1 here at Tokyo Narita Airport, and today we are going to be flying Vietnam Airlines all the way to Melbourne, Australia. We have a layover of about 7 hours in Ho Chi Minh City on the way, and I'm really excited for the flights today. We're going to be flying a 787 here from Narita to Ho Chi Minh City. All of it is going to be in business class today, which is really exciting. I ended up getting to the airport a little bit later than expected because of some train issues, but things were very efficient and I had no problems at all getting through quickly. Everything was very efficient, from bag check-in to checking in for the flight to security. Everything was super easy. I'm here in the Narita Premier Lounge in Terminal 1, which is the lounge that Vietnam Airlines uses, and it seems like a pretty nice lounge. I'm not going to eat right now. It's about 8 in the morning, and I feel that I'm going to have a lot of food today on the flights, so I'm going to hold off for now and not ruin my appetite. Overall, things were very efficient here at Narita Airport. I was a little bit worried because I made it here a little bit later than I thought I was going to. I was here about 1 hour and 40 minutes prior to my departure. But once I got off the train to clear immigration, which was the last point before you were really in the terminal, it was only about 30 minutes. So I actually have more time to kill than I thought I was going to. So props to Narita for the operations that they have. I'll catch back up with you guys at the gate and show you what this is going to look like today. So Narita Airport's actually pretty cool. As far as airside shopping, this might actually be the best I've ever seen at any airport. Like everything else in Japan, it's unbelievably clean. And there's also a lot of cool planes to see. I feel like Asia in general is an awesome place to see some cool planes. I'll include some shots in this video. And overall, I'm really grateful to be here, but also looking forward to my flight. It's about 24 hours from now, a little less, that I'll land in Melbourne, but obviously we have to stop over 7 hours in Ho Chi Minh City on the way. So yeah, time to head towards the gate and see what's going on. I was really excited to be boarding the flight. It's not every day that I get the opportunity to travel in business class. The last time prior to this was burning through just about all of my Alaska Airlines miles to travel to Australia about a year ago. But I was really excited to be heading more into Asia and check out a new destination for me. We are now taxiing and about to approach the runway, and the service before the flight has been pretty good. We had our orders taken for our lunch. I chose to get the salmon. There was also a beef option and a Japanese noodle option. We also had pre-departure beverages, a hot towel, and lots of other stuff that you like to see. I'm definitely glad to be in business class now, where I have some more room to stretch out. So let's take a look at everything at the seat. Here we have the screen where we can watch movies. I'll take a look at that a little bit later. Down here we have some bedding, a blanket, some slippers, and an amenity kit that I'll also be going over later. Down here you have the magazines, the secure safety information, and a bottle of water. Tray table comes out here. We have a headset provided by Vietnam Airlines. We have the seat controls, the remote, power with USB, and there also is a regular power outlet and a light. And the seat is pretty nice overall. Definitely has room to stretch out, although it feels slightly rickety, but that's okay. So yeah, looking forward to getting this started. So it is currently about 10 in the morning, and my plan for this flight is going to be to stay awake. I'm kind of tired. It was a very early morning here in Tokyo, but I have a overnight flight, a red-eye, going to Australia tonight from Vietnam. So this is not the flight to sleep. That one is. So I'm really just planning to enjoy some entertainment, read a little, maybe watch a movie. So here's a brief overview of Lotus Star, which is the in-flight entertainment system offered by Vietnam Airlines. I wasn't really sure what to expect before this, but I was actually pretty impressed. The control was pretty responsive, as was the touchscreen, and there was a pretty big selection of movies, which I thought was very impressive. They were both Western and Asian movies, so really anybody that would be flying would probably find something interesting to them. And there were also some TV shows. I didn't think that the TV shows were as interesting. They were definitely more slanted towards an Asian audience. I didn't end up watching anything on this flight, but I do think that it was a really good selection for people that were interested. There's also a fairly typical flight map, not too different from what you would see on any airline. One aspect that really differentiates business class travel is the food, so it's time to talk about that. Before there was any big meal, we did get nuts and a drink, which was nice, and usually this is when I would show a menu, but there was no menu on this flight. Prior to takeoff, the flight attendants came around and asked what we wanted for the main course, but I knew literally nothing else that was coming to the plate, and it all felt quite random. I actually think that this could be a big concern, especially for somebody that has a food allergy, because they're going to be completely unsure about what's showing up on their plate. I did think that this meal was presented well, and I do think that it tasted good, especially this salmon main course right here. It was really quite good. But I think that it's hard to think that this food on the flight is actually pretty good when there's such a glaring problem with it. And we were also asked for the ice cream, which I chose, this really good mochi ice cream. So I am now testing out the lay flat seat in bed mode, and as you can tell, there's quite a bit of turbulence right now, but the seat is very comfortable. For reference, I am 6'4", and I feel that I have plenty of space in this lie flat mode, which is a good sign for tonight, since I'm going to be sleeping on that red-eye flight into Australia. But for now, I'm just going to hang out, watch some YouTube videos that I downloaded onto my laptop, and relax. This seat is honestly not the most comfortable when you're sitting up. I'm noticing now that my mid-back is hurting quite a bit, but in lay flat mode, this is great. The novelty of being flat while on a plane, I don't think it'll ever go away. Not that I fly business class a ton, but yeah, this is really nice. We are now 2 hours away from Ho Chi Minh City, which means it's time to go over the amenity kit. It's a nice Samsonite bag, which is a good brand. Alright, so it looks like we have some socks. These are very soft socks. I could see myself wearing them. An eye mask is in between the socks as well. There is some earplugs. Oh, some combs. And actually they have a whole list here of what else is in here. So we also got a toothbrush, toothpaste, lotion, and a sticker to wake you up for a meal or not. So, seems like a pretty good amenity kit to me. Here you can see the lotion and everything, and yeah, I'm happy with that. I could see this bag being one that someone would want to use to carry around money or use as a wallet or something like that as well. So, all good. So we are a little less than an hour from Ho Chi Minh City, and I want to talk a little bit about the 787 and, in my opinion, what the pros and cons of the plane are. The best pro, in my opinion, is that the plane is just so quiet. There's many planes in the sky, 777s, 767s, 737s, A320s, that are kind of noisy, and it's hard to be able to kind of tune out that noise, but it's really not a big deal on the 787 at all. It's such a quiet and such a pleasant ride every single time that I'm on a 787. However, the worst part is definitely what you're looking at right now, and it is the tinted windows. I don't really get why Boeing did this. It makes it so that when you're flying over somewhere new, like how I'm flying over Vietnam for the first time right now, I can't really see the ground and I can't really see what's going on very well, which just sucks as somebody that wants to see scenery and see new things. And I feel like the 787 is also a much more spacious aircraft than a lot of other wide bodies, at least of the Boeing wide bodies that I've been on. Because I feel like, especially standing up, you have way more headroom, way more clearance than you do on other planes. I'm not entirely sure if that's actually true or not, but at least that's how it feels. A couple more things that I want to point out about the 787 is that, number one, the bathrooms are a really nice size. For me to be able to stand up and have some room to spare is always nice in an airplane bathroom. And then secondly, I feel like the air in a 787 is a little bit more moist. Like sometimes in a plane, you can just feel like you're drying out because of how dry the air is, and I don't think I've ever felt that before on a 787. My next flight is on an A350, which I've never flown before, so I'll have to see how that feels, because I know a lot of people love the A350. So as we're approaching Ho Chi Minh City, I want to talk a little bit about pricing and my overall thoughts on this flight. Now, from Tokyo to Melbourne, I paid 65,000 American Express points that I transferred to Delta, plus about 6,800 yen. And when you break it up into what was specifically for this flight, it was about 30,000 points plus 3,100 yen, or about $20. The cash fare for this flight in business class is usually $1,300, so I got about 4.33 cents per point, which is excellent value, and I'm super happy with it. This flight, while not meeting the standards of a top-notch airline, did impress me overall. I think that the seat was quite uncomfortable while sitting, and I think that the food problem is a big deal when it comes to people with allergies, but I think that this is a really great way to travel, and I highly recommend it to anybody who'd be interested, especially if you can get the transfer deal with American Express at Delta, because Delta points usually are not that valuable. Hey everybody, and welcome to Ho Chi Minh City. It took me a little while to get through immigrations and customs and all of that kind of stuff. Immigration in particular moved really slowly, but we are here now. I'm going to take some time to walk around the city and explore a little bit, and I will get back to you guys soon for the next video, where we are continuing our journey on Vietnam Airlines, this time with their A350.